So, welcome back to my channel. This is Mirjan Hipolito, Sashes&Scripts. So today, kakausapin natin si Mirjan Hipolito, Binibining Pilipinas, candidate number 8. And we will be knowing more about her. So, Mirjan, please introduce yourselves to everyone.
Hello everyone, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, sir. I am Mirjan Hipolito. My name is actually pronounced as Mirjana, and it is a Croatian name.
Okay.
What people do not know about me is that I have a Croatian name, but I'm actually pure Filipina. I am 25 years old from Angeles City. City, capital of the Philippines.
Ayan, Mirjan. Kasi marami yung kind of confused with your name. It's good that it's you clarify yan.
Yes.
So paano naging, tanong ko lang out of curiosity, paano pinangalanan ka ng parents mo ng isang Croatian name?
Yeah.
And where did they get that name and what does it mean? Kasi usually hindi naman sila magpapangalan ng baby without knowing the meaning of the name first.
Yeah, so my dad is a big history geek, and there's this news that came out in 1997 of a girl named Mirjana from then Yugoslavia, who saw the Virgin Mary in a Marian apparition in Medjugorje.
Okay.
So from then, my dad said, if I'm gonna have a daughter, I will surely name yung next daughter ko as Mirjana.
Okay.
But he wanted to toughen it up. Ayaw niya ng A sa dulo, so Mirjan. But when I met my Serbian friends from traveling, they said, no, we can call you Mirjan. It's for guys. We're gonna call you Mirjana. So, and I think it's so feminine. It speaks more of my personality, Mirjana. I'd like to be called Mirjana or Jan. Jan is also okay. Yes.
Okay, so Jan is the nickname that you give.
Jan is a nickname. Yes.
Parang mas may tunog yung Mirjana, no?
Yes, Mirjana.
Natunog Mirjana Hipolito. It sounds very cosmopolitan.
Central. Yes, I like
and
it.
very modern.
Yes.
So, Mirjan, we are getting to know you more. And the more that we get to know, we want to know about the person. We want to know first kung ano yung background mo. Because a lot of the girls in this year's batch, they're kind of like engineers, there's CPA, may mga professional volleyball player, may mga artists, may mga dancers. You come from different walks of life and you come from different backgrounds. So we want to know more about your background.
So professionally, I'm a content writer for technology and blockchain sites. Yes, I'm a tech girl, and I manage my own team of content writers. So I have my own business of content writing for different international websites. And this allows me to travel all around the world. I actually just came back 5 days before Binibining Pilipinas application. And I do not have the slightest plan to join Binibini. I have a ticket booked to the Mediterranean.
Okay.
It's supposed to be mid this year, but there's this part of me that I cannot really say no to that. Okay, it's time. It's there for you, yes. So yes, this background allows me to backpack all around the world. I'm a solo female backpacker, and in the past year, the whole year, I traveled all across the Philippines and stayed in Southeast Asia and backpacked all the way.
Because that's one of the things that we want to discuss later on in this interview, because you are very multifaceted kind of girl, and one of the things that we hear kind of like focusing on when we're reading your bio is that you're a solo backpacker, and that for me, it takes like guts. It takes a whole lot of different level ng confianza to travel alone. And I want to I want to focus on that later on. But for now, ano muna tayo? Let's go back doon sa decision mo joining Binibini. Because you said na parang wala kang plano, tapos suddenly you got the urge to join. So how did that happen?
Although we want to veer away from the solo female backpacking, but actually while I was traveling all around Southeast Asia, I realized that there's no single Filipina who's traveling Southeast Asia. I did not meet a Filipino who's traveling all by herself for a very long time. I met a couple of Filipinos who are going around the region just for 3 days, It made me really sad because I cannot converse in Tagalog. Parang there's a degree of familiarity when you talk with somebody in your native language.
Yes.
And I began seeing my French friends talking to other French girls in French, and I started questioning, bakit sa mga nationalities ito, women my age or even younger than myself can travel?
Okay.
And and I started getting so many messages after posting my travel shenanigans on social media of women who love to travel, who would like to travel, but they don't have the guts to do it. And I started recalibrating, thinking, how can I raise awareness on this cause? How can I? And sure, I can post on social media, but how can I amplify it in a way that people will really listen to what I will say? And even when I was traveling, I had it in me na, oh, Mirjan, you should behave very well because you're gonna be someday joining Binibining Pilipinas. In the back of my mind, I always had that within me. So yes, that is the reason. It's always a dream. It's driven by a purpose, and now I'm here.
Yeah, you're here.
Yes.
That's very interesting because a lot of people, when they join pageants, it's because it's a childhood dream. But for you, you're saying that there's a purpose, there's a reason why you joined the pageants, and it's to amplify the message on having that kind of confidence to travel alone. I want to ask you din kasi because you're not new to pageants. You've competed in national pageant before. So yung confianza that translates from being able to travel alone to joining pageants, those are different kind of confidence.
Two different things, entirely different things. Yes.
And now, what I want to ask is, now that you've experienced Miss Universe Philippines, which you joined in 2021, right? And now that you're competing in Binibining Pilipinas, do you see any difference from your competition in MEPH versus MEP?
Well, in terms of the organization, not much because both are pageants, they operate on the same sphere, but more on the differences within myself. I feel like I'm more confident right now, I'm more sure of myself. When I started joining Miss Universe Philippines, I was just 23, and I still did not travel the world, I still did not taste food, I still did not meet people, and it was so hard for me to, umubot na malalalim na experiences.
Yes.
So now that I've explored the world, I already know what delicious tastes like, what beautiful looks like. And I feel that these experiences, binuo niya ako. And now I feel na pag haharap ako sa mga tao through Binibining Pilipinas, I'm more full. I am a package.
And then there's something, may sinasabi sila before na travel enriches the soul. And
Sure it does, yes.
so you experienced that because of the travels, parang it changed you for the better.
It really changed me. I used to feel really lonely. Just to give a brief background of my school days, I graduated at the top of my class.
Yes.
And I was a valedictorian. I've always been a go-getter, and it was so hard for me to relate to people because no matter how I want us to be on the same line, I just feel that no one understands me. My own conventional views are not understood. But when I started traveling the world, it just made me realize that people have different contexts. If you believe this, it doesn't mean that it's the only thing that's true. It is not wrong, but it's the only thing that's true. That is the truth. So
Yes.
you also have to learn how to discern and learn from people's experiences,
Yes.
from other cultures, because they also have a story to tell. I think it is such a beautiful experience that really enriched my soul on how I am now as a person. I'm more accepting, more relaxed, and parang, okay, when something comes up, okay lang yan. Before I'm more tense. Kasi I was a competitive person nga dahil I was an academic achiever.
And you graduated cum laude?
I graduated magna cum laude.
Magna cum laude.
Yes.
What course again? Is it tourism?
Yes, tourism management for my undergrad, and I had taken international relations and ASEAN studies for my graduate studies.
So, you're based on what you're saying, you are very well accomplished. There is okay, medyo off question ito kasi hindi planado, no? Kasi you are academically inclined and gifted, and then you're also very adventurous with your solo backpacking experience, and then now you're joining Bajans. There's a level of competitiveness and level of confidence on all aspects that
All
you have
aspects, yes.
to experience on. So why become an overachiever? Bakit kinakailangan parang overachiever tayo just to is there something that you want to prove to yourself or to others that as women we can do this?
I don't think that the term is overachiever, but something that
But you are. Because the mere fact that you are a master's graduate, plus may Latin honors ka, achievement yun.
well, I would just want to say that I love looking at where my limits are. I would like to see where my fullest potential goes, because I've always believed that we only have one life. Alam mo yun? Hanggang saan ba ako? Hanggang saan ba yung kaya kong piano? And also siguro the competitiveness comes from my background. I was raised in a very poor family. I came from a history of lack. My dad died at a very young age, and it made me go into a fight and flight response. At 14 years old, I was already working. I was giving out flyers in the malls. I was like doing events, working so hard in the events, like escorting people to their tables. It's not an easy job. And I was just 14 years old when I started this modeling. So I just feel like the degree of independence really came from that history of mine. Like, it made me realize that life is tough, so toughen up.
Okay.
So you should be more tough.
Okay. Because it's very impressive yung background mo, and it's really it's a story that you can conquer the difficult parts of your life and still emerge a better person out because of it.
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about your backpacking, because that's where I am really intrigued. Kasi don't you feel apprehension when you travel alone? Tapos yung confianza na mag-travel alone, parang saan nanggagaling yung sense of security?
Okay. Well, just to give everyone a brief background, my first international travel was in Singapore. And I just told my mom, okay, I'm just gonna go to Singapore for a couple of days. And I did not come back for 4 months. I came to Malaysia, I came to Thailand, I came to Vietnam, Laos, and the border of Cambodia. And I just say that I'm the type of person who just loves her independence. And when it comes to security, I would say now there are times that when I'm walking in the streets, I feel threatened because I'm a tall woman, I'm a slim woman, it attracts attention. But it also comes with the background that I know self-defense. I know in myself that I can defend myself, and also, you're already an adventurer. Might as well go until the end and see what happens.
Yes. I think that's that's some kind of mentality that helps you become more assured of yourself. No? And again, I think it's really very admirable that you do this, and because of passion, you develop more of a sense of awareness of who you are as a person.
Yes, and I would just also like to build up on that. I was raised by a single mother who is very strong.
Yeah.
So maybe that having that model in my life with my mom, very independent, raised us by all herself, made me realize at a very young age, kaya mo naman, I can care for myself. Wherever I go, kaya ko as I said, I was at 14 years old, I was already in a fight and flight response. So it was like a second nature for me to be traveling all around these countries with my backpack, 20 kilograms, but I also understand that it is not the case with other girls,
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. And what I normally advise to people is to only go for an adventure where you are comfortable with. We all have a different sense of risk. As people, what is not risky for me may be risky for you. So you should always know how to assess yourself, your limits, your experiences, because what worked for me might not work for you.
And it's very nice to see because a lot of people have problems with boundaries, kung ano yung hanggang saan yung kaya nila, and then they get pushed out of their boundaries without a sense of safety on themselves.
Yes, that is true. Like I have so many friends who would tell me that was.
And it's good that you were able to test your limits, your boundaries.
Yes.
And have that kind of liberty, because I see you as like you're a free-spirited young
I'm
woman.
very free-spirited.
And you're not afraid to take risks.
Actually, it depends on the
or
situation.
you calculate your risks.
I calculate. When it's finances, I'm more calculating. Like when it comes to my investment, I love investing my money like on different securities. So when it comes to finances, I'm more careful. But when it comes to my travel, I'm different.
And it's good that you're talking finances as well.
Yes.
Because in order for you to travel, you need to be comfortable with what you are spending on. And with you investing, I think that's something that a lot of people should start to learn. To be financially independent, you need to, if you are financially independent, you are more than able to travel because of security on that aspect, right?
I would like to build up on that because I've been asked a lot. The problem in the Philippines, while other females also are not, traveling, is because of the cost. The average wage or income in the Philippines, daily wage in the Philippines is like $10.
Yes.
How even in the places that are cheaper, have cheaper cost of living in the Philippines, how will you be able to get along with that budget? So for me, as a solo female backpacker, I travel very cheaply. I stay on really hostels, like really basic hostels that are like very cheap.
Without much of the conveniences that most travelers are used to.
I don't stay on 5-star hotels. I stayed on bed bug infested beds. True, it's true.
And do you camping? Do you do camping as well when you travel?
I'm not. When I was in the Philippines, I bring my own camping gear. But when I was abroad, no, unfortunately, not. Yes, the financial aspect is a big concern for Filipinas. But I'm very lucky that my work is online. So
you can make work everywhere.
Yes, I can work. I can work from everywhere, and my clients are international. So, and also I am very frugal. I consider myself not frugal, deliberate.
Yes.
As also an advocate of environmental conservation, I became very conscious about my spending, of what I buy on e-commerce sites. So I rarely buy things online. And because of this mentality that I have, I'm able to save money for my travel, so it allows me. Sometimes it's not what you earn, but also what you make do of your salary.
And since you mentioned, yung sustainability aspect, the way that you travel, I want to ask about how do you marry the fact that you were once a flight attendant and you're now advocating for lesser carbon footprint when you travel, because earlier when we were talking actually prior to the interview, she mentioned that one of her the reasons why she travels less by air but more by land is because of the carbon footprint that is made because of air travel. So can you tell us more about that?
So I started learning about climate change and environmental degradation in 2020. At the time when I was already reassessing if I still want to be a flight attendant. And it's one of the biggest contributions why I filed for. Kasi during that time, my previous airline allowed us to file for redundancy, like you can file to go out of the company and they're going to compensate you. So, it's one of the biggest considerations din na nagtulak sa akin to say na, oh yes, it's time for you to seek for opportunities and others because it doesn't marry your value. Wala na yung values was entirely different from what you used to dream of becoming a flight attendant. Yes, so
Yun yung dahilan.
yeah, yun isa sa mga dahilan.
Okay. And Mirjan, if there is one thing that people should know about you, what would that be?
A couple of days ago, one of my co-candidates, who is my friend, told me, "Oh, people thought you're so intimidating. Like you're so competitive, you're so composed. What people do not know about me is that I derive so much pleasure in so little things, like the small things. I love a good conversation. I love a good laugh, and hindi ako mahirap patawanin.
Yes.
And I also like to talk with other people. Yun yung hindi alam ng mga people. Kasi nga, from my background, with my academic background, with my travels, ganyan, people just see that I'm a ultra competitive person. But deep inside, I'm just like cute girl. A very soft person who just loves to enjoy life. Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing because apart from what people see, the intimidating aspect, there is like a soft, gooey center, kawaii center hidden behind the very, very queenie stature.
Yes. Yes.
Ayan. Ladies and gentlemen, Mirjan Hipolito. Mirjan, before we end our interview, can you please invite everyone to support you in your Binibining Pilipinas campaign and promote na rin your social media channels?
Okay, I really had a beautiful conversation with you. Thank you so much for giving me the platform. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is Mirjan Hipolito. You can follow me on my social media accounts. On Instagram, I'm at Mirj Hipolito. And on Facebook, you can like my page at Mirjan Hipolito. And I'm hoping to see you all in the coronation night of Binibining Pilipinas on May 20th.
Ayan, thank you very much for everyone sa mabaybay sa ating interview. Thank you very much for your support. And I hope to see you again in our next interview. So, thank you very much and have a good day.